रवे परिचयायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः त्रिगाविद्यो जिगागं सद्यो मुष्णतां पतये नमो नमो कृन्तानां पतये नमो नमो उष्णीशिने गिरिचराजकुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमो इषिमद्भ्यो तन्वाकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नम आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रचदानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विद्युद्यश्च वो नमो नमः विद्विद्यश्च वो नमो नमः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जागृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तिष्ठद्भ्यो दावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो तिभ्यश्च वो नमः नम आव्यादिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम उगणाभ्यस्त्रिगम्हतीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमश्वभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च चितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च ददन्वने च नमो चिपिविष्ठाय च नमो मीडुष्ठमाय च शुमते च नमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च संवृद्धने च नमो य च प्रथमाय च नम आचवे च जिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च नम ऊर्म्याय च वस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च परजाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्पाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुद्नियाय च नमः प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नम उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च अवसान्याय च नम वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नम आशुषेणाय च आशुरधाय च नमो बिन्दते च नमो वर्मिने च वरूथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च कवचिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो दृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने च शितिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णे च वेचायुधिने च नमः सुधन्वने च नमः श्रुत्याय च पत्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूद्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च नमः कूप्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च नमो मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमो ईग्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्मियाय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च पशुपतये च नम उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयोभवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः तीर्थ्याय च कूल्याय च नमः पार्याय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय च उत्तरणाय च नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः षष्ठ्याय च फेन्याय च नमस्तिकत्याय च प्रवाह्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च प्रपत्याय च नमः किगुंशिलाय च क्षयनाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ठ्याय च गृह्याय च नमः स्थल्प्याय च नमः काट्याय च कक्वरेष्ठाय च नमो हृदयाय च नमेष्ठ्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च नमो लोप्याय चोलप्याय च नमः ऊर्म्याय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णशद्याय च नमो बगुरमानाय च भिघ्नते च नमः आकृदते च मो किरिकेभ्यो देवानागं हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्षीणकेभ्यो नमो विचिन्वक्तेभ्यो नम आनिर्घतेभ्यो नम आमी वक्त्रेभ्यः द्रावे अंधसस्पते दरिद्रन्नीललोहिता येषां पुरुषाणामेषां पशूनार्भे किंचना ममते याते रुद्रशिवा तनो विश्वाः बेशती शिवा रुद्रस्य बेशती तया नो मुडजीवसे इमागुं रुद्राय तवसे कपर्दिने क्षयद्वीराय प्रबरामहे मतिं यथा नश्यवसद्विपते चतुष्पदे विश्वं पुष्टं ग्रामे अस्मिन्ननातुरं मृडानो रुद्रो तनो मयस्कृतिक्षयद्वीराय नमसा विधेमते यच्चञ्चयोश्च मनुराय दे पिता तदश्यामतव रुद्रप्रणीतौ मानो महान्तौ तमानो अर्भकं मानमुक्षन्तौ तमानमुक्षितं मानोवतीः पितरं मोतमातरं प्रियात्मानस्तनुवो रुद्ररीरिषः मानस्तोके तनये मान आयुषि मानो घोषि मानो अश्वेशिरीरिषः वीरान्मानो रुद्रभामितो भरिष्मन्तो नमसा विधेमते हारार्थे गोग्नौतपूरुषग्ने क्षयद्वीराय नमस्मेते अस्तु रक्षा च नो अदीच देव बृह्य दानः शर्म यच्छद्विबर्हाः तुहं श्रुतं गर्तं सदं जुमानं मृगन्न भीमोपहर्तुमुग्रं मृडाचरित्रे रुद्रस्तबानो अन्यन्ते अस्मिन् निपपन्तु सेनाः परिणो रुद्रस्य हेतिर्वुणक्तः परित्वेषस्य दुर्मतिरगायोः अवस्थिरा मगवध्वनिष्ठु यतनयाय मृडया मेडुष्टम शिवतम शिवो न सुमना भव परमे वृक्ष आयुधन्निधाय कृत्तिं वसान आचर पिनाकं बिभ्रदागहि विगिरित विलोहित नमस्ते अस्तु भगवः यास्ते सहस्रयोगं हेत् सहस्राणि सहस्रदा बाहवोस्तव हेतयः तासामीशानो भगवत्पराचीनामुखाकृति सहस्राणि सहस्रो ये रुद्रादिभूम्या तेषागं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि अस्मिन् महन्त्यर्णवेऽन्तरिक्षे भवा अधि नीलग्रीवा शितिकण्ठा शर्वा अधः क्षमाचराः नीलग्रीवा शितिकण्ठा दिवगं रुद्र उपश्रिताः ये वृक्षेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासः कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विद्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनाने ये पतां पतिरक्षैलभृतव्यव्युतः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति स्त्रिगावन्तो निषङ्गिनः ये एतावन्तश्च भूयासगं त्रश्चो दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे तेषागुं सहस्रयोजने वदन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां ये अन्तरिक्षे ये दिव्येषामन्नं वातोर्वर्षमिषस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचीर्दश दक्षिणा दश प्रतीचीर्दशोदीचीर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते न मृडयन्तु ते यन्विष्म द्वेष्टितं भोजम्भे ददामि त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नो यो अप्सुयवोषधीषु यो रुद्रा विश्वा भुवनानि विवेश तस्मिन् रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुष्टिः क्षितिवेशदस्य यक्ष्वा महेशो मनसाय रुद्रन्नमोभिर्देवसुरन्दुवस्य अयं मे हस्तु भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्ववेश जोषिकिं शिवामवर्षणः एते सहस्रमयितं पाशा मृत्योर्मर्त्याय हन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वान् वयजामहे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा ओम नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि प्राणानां ग्रन्थिरसि रुद्रो मा विशान्तकः तेनान्येनाप्यायस्व नमो रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि ओम शांति 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 ओम वांगिरः जुम्नेर्वाजे विरागतम् वाजश्च मे प्रसवश्च मे प्रयतिश्च मे प्रसितिश्च मे दीतिश्च मे क्रतुश्च मे स्वरश्च मे श्लोकश्च मे श्रावश्च मे श्रुतिश्च मे ज्योतिश्च मे सुवश्च मे प्राणश्च मे पानश्च मे व्यानश्च मे सुश्च मे चित्तञ्च म आदिन्दञ्च मे मनश्च मे चक्षुश्च मे श्रोत्रञ्च मे दक्षञ्च मे बलञ्च मवोजश्च मे सहश्च म आयुश्च मे आत्मा च मे तनुश्च मे शर्म च मे वर्म च मेऽङ्गानि च मे स्थानि च मे पुरोगुंसि च मे शरीराणि च मे ज्येष्ठञ्च महाधिपत्यञ्च मे मन्युश्च मे भामश्च मे मश्च मे भश्च मे जयमा च मे महिमा च मे रिमा च मे प्रतिमा च मे वर्ष्मा च मे ध्रागुया च मे वृद्धञ्च मे वृद्धिश्च मे सत्यञ्च मे जगश्च मे धनञ्च मे पशश्च मे त्विषिश्च मे क्रीडा च मे मोदश्च मे जातञ्च मे जनिष्यमानञ्च मे सूक्तञ्च मे सुकृतञ्च मे वित्तञ्च मे वेद्यञ्च मे भूतञ्च मे भविष्यश्च मे सुगञ्च मे सुपतञ्च मरुद्धञ्च मरुद्धिश्च मे क्लुप्तञ्च मे क्लुप्तिश्च मे मतिश्च मे सुमतिश्च मे शंच मे मजश्च मे प्रियंच मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रंच मे श्रेयश्च मे वस्यश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणंच मे यंता च मे हिमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वंच मे महश्च मे संविच्च मे ज्ञात्रंच मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे तीरंच मे लयश्च मरुतंच मे मृतंच मे यक्ष्मंच मे नामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वंच मे अनमित्रंच मे अभयंच मे सुगंच मे शयनंच मे सूषा च मे सुदिनंच मे ऊर्च मे सुनृता च मे पयश्च मे रसश्च मे घृतञ्च मे मधु च मे सग्धिश्च मे सपीतिश्च मे यश्च मे पुष्टञ्च मे पुष्टिश्च मे विभु च मे प्रभु च मे बहु च मे भूयश्च मे पूर्णञ्च मे पूर्णतरञ्च मे च मे नंच मे चुश्च मे क्रियश्च मे जवाश्च मे माशाश्च मे तिलाश्च मे मुद्गाश्च मे खल्वाश्च मे गोधूमाश्च मे मसुराश्च मे प्रियंगवश्च मे नवश्च मे चामाकाश्च मे नीवाराश्च मे अस्मा च मे मृत्तिका च मे गिरयश्च मे पर्वताश्च मे सिकताश्च मे वनस्पतयश्च मे हिरण्यञ्च मे यश्च मे त्रपुश्च मे श्यामञ्च मे लोहञ्च मे अग्निश्च म आपश्च मे विरुधश्च मवोषधयश्च मे कृष्णपश्यञ्च मे कृष्णपश्यञ्च मे ग्राव्याश्च मे पशव आरण्याश्च यज्ञेन कल्पतां वित्तञ्च मे वित्तिश्च मे भूतञ्च मे भूतिश्च मे वसु च मे वसतिश्च मे कर्म च मे शक्तिश्च मे अर्धश्च मयेमश्च मे गतिश्च मे अग्निश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे सोमश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे सविता च मयिन्द्रश्च मे सरस्वती च मयिन्द्रश्च मे बृहस्पतिश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे मित्रश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे वरुणश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे त्वष्टा च मयिन्द्रश्च मे दाता च मयिन्द्रश्च मे विष्णुश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे अश्विनौ च मयिन्द्रश्च मे मरुतश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे विश्वे च मे देवा इन्द्रश्च मे पृथिवी च मयिन्द्रश्च मे अन्तरिक्षञ्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे द्यौश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे दिशश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे मूर्धा च मयिन्द्रश्च मे प्रजापतिश्च मयिन्द्रश्च मे अगुंसुश्च मे रश्मिश्च मे दाब्जश्च मे अधिपतिश्च मे इंद्रवायवश्च मे मैत्रा वरुणश्च महाश्विनश्च मे प्रतिप्रस्थानश्च मे शुक्रश्च मे मंथी च महाग्रणयश्च मे वैश्वदेवश्च मे ध्रुवश्च मे वैश्वानरश्च मे ऋतुग्रहाश्च मे ऋतुग्राह्याश्च मे ऐन्द्राग्न्यश्च मे मे मरुत्वतीजाश्च मे माहेन्द्रश्च मे आदित्यश्च मे सावित्रश्च मे सारस्वतश्च मे पौष्णश्च मे पात्नीवतश्च मे हारीयोजनश्च मे इद्मश्च मे बर्हिश्च मे वेदिश्च मे दिष्णियाश्च मे श्रुतश्च मे चमसाश्च मे ग्रावाणश्च मे स्वरवश्च मौ दिशवणे च मे द्रोणकलशश्च मे वायव्यानि च मे भूतपृच्छ आधवनीयश्च मे आग्नीन्द्रश्च मे हविर्दानञ्च मे ग्रहश्च मे सदश्च मे पुरोडाशाश्च मे पचताश्च मे कारश्च मे अग्निश्च मे घर्मश्च मेऽर्कश्च मे सूर्यश्च मे प्राणश्च मे अश्वमेधश्च मे पृथिवी च मे दितिश्च मे द्यौश्च मे शक्वरीरङ्गुलयोदिशश्च मे यज्ञेन कल्पतां तृक्षश्च मे सोम च मे स्तोमश्च मे यजश्च मे दीक्षा च मे तपश्च मे ऋतुश्च मे व्रतञ्च मे त्रयोर्बृहदन्तन्तिरे च मे यज्ञेन कल्पेताम् गर्भाश्च मे वत्साश्च मे त्रवीतश्च मे दित्यवाश्च मे दित्यौही च मे प्रविताश्च मे पञ्चावी च मे त्रिवत्सश्च मे त्रिवत्सा च मे तुर्यवाश्च मे तुर्यौही च मे पष्टवाश्च मे पष्टौही च मे धेनुश्च आयुर्यज्ञेन कल्पतां प्राणो यज्ञेन कल्पताम् अवानो यज्ञेन कल्पतां व्यानो यज्ञेन कल्पतां चक्षुर्यज्ञेन कल्पतां श्रोत्रं यज्ञेन कल्पतां मनो यज्ञेन कल्पतां यज्ञो यज्ञेन आत्मा यज्ञेन कल्पतां यज्ञो यज्ञेन कल्पतां यज्ञो यज्ञेन कल्पताम् एका च मे तिस्रश्च मे पञ्च च मे सप्त च मे नव च मयेकादश च मे त्रयोदश च मे पञ्चदश च मे विंशतिश्च मे त्रयोविंशतिश्च मे पञ्चविंशतिश्च मे सप्तविंशतिश्च मे नवविंशतिश्च मयेकत्रिंशश्च मे त्रयस्त्रिंशश्च मे अष्टौ च मे द्वादश च मे षोडश च मे विंशतिश्च मे चतुर्विंशतिश्च मे शतिश्च मे त्रिंशश्च मे षट्त्रिंशश्च मे चत्वारिंशश्च मे चतुश्चत्वारिंशश्च मे अष्टाचत्वारिंशश्च मे वाजश्च प्रसवश्च शुभश्च मूर्धा च वृष्णियश्चान्त्यायनश्चान्त्यश्च भौवनश्च भुवनश्चाधिपतिश्च देवासूक्तवाचपस्पतिं मातर्मामागिं श्रीर्मधुजनिष्ये मधुवक्ष्यामि मधुवति देवेभ्यो वाचमुद्यासकं शुश्रूषेण्यां मनुष्येभ्यस्तं मा देवा अवन्तु शोपायै पितरोऽनुमदन्तो ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सा पुरुषः सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो वृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुष ये वेदगं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उतामृतत्वशेषानः यदन्नेनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा हतोऽज्यायागश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्ध्वोदयपुरुषः पादोऽस्येहा भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामते शासनानशने अभि तस्मात् विराट जायत विराजो अतिपूरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यत पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरः यत्पुरुषेण हविषा देवा यज्ञमतन्वत वसन्तो अस्यासीदाज्यं ग्रीष्मयुग्मः शरद्दविः सप्तास्यासन् परिदयः त्रिसप्तः समिदकृताः देवा यद्यज्ञं तन्वानाः अबध्नन् पुरुषं पशुं तैयज्ञं बर्हिषि प्रोक्षन् पुरुषं जातमग्रतः तेन देवा अयजन्त साध्यार्षयश्च ये तस्माद्यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः समृतं पृषदाज्यं पशुगस्तागश्चक्रे वायुव्याने आरण्यान् ग्राम्याश्च ये तस्माद्यज्ञात् सर्वहुतः ऋजस्तामानि जग्निरे छन्दागुंसि जग्निरे तस्मात् यजस्तस्मादजायताम् दश्वा अजायन्ताम् ये केचो भजाततः गावो हजग्निरे तस्माज्जाता अजावजः यत्पुरुषं यददुः कतिधा व्यकल्पयन् मुखं किमस्य कौ बाहो कावूरुपादावुच्येते ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यः कृतः ऊरु तदस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागुं शूद्रो अजायत चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षुः सूर्यो अजायत मुखादिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणाद्वायुरजायत नाभ्या आसीदन्तरिक्षं शीर्ष्णार्जौ समवर्तत पद्भ्यां भूमिर्दिशश्रोत्रात् तथा लोकागुम्मकल्पयन् वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसस्तु पारे सर्वाणि रूपाणि विचित्य धीरः नामानि कृत्वाभिवदन् यदास्ते दाता पुरस्ताद्यमुदा जहार चक्रः प्रविद्वान् प्रजितस्य तस्रः तमेवन् विद्वानमृतैः भवति नान्यः पन्था अजनाय विद्यते यज्ञेन यज्ञमयजन्त देवाः तानि धर्माणि प्रथमान्यासन् ते हनाकं महिमानस्तचन्ते यत्र पूर्वे साध्याः सन्ति देवाः अभ्यः सम्भूतपृथिव्यैरसाश्च विश्वकर्मणः समवर्ततादि तस्य त्वष्टा विदधद्रूपमेति तत्पुरुषस्य विश्वमाजानमग्रे वेदाहमेतं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् तमेवं विद्वानमृतैः भवति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते जनाय प्रजापतिश्चरति गर्भे अन्तः अजायमानो बहुधा विजायते तस्य धीराः परिजानन्ति योनिं मरीचीनां पदमिच्छन्ति वेदसः यो देवेभ्यः तपति यो देवानां पुरोहितः पूर्वो यो देवेभ्यो जातः नमो ऋचाय ब्राह्मये कृचं ब्राह्मं जनयन्तः देवा अग्रे तदब्रुवन् यस्त्वैवन् ब्राह्मणो विद्यात् तस्य देवा असन्वशे स्त्रीश्च ते लक्ष्मीश्च पत्न्यो अहोरात्रे पार्श्वे नक्षत्राणि रूपम् अश्विनौ यात्तम् इष्टं मनिषाण अमं मनिषाण सर्वन्मनिषाण सहस्रशीर्षं देवं विश्वाक्षं विश्वशम्भुवं विश्वन्नारायणं देवमक्षरं परमं प्रभुं विश्वतः परमा नित्यं विश्वन्नारायणगं हरिं विश्वमेवेतं पुरुषस्तद्विश्वमुपजीवति पदिं विश्वस्यात्मेश्वरगं शाश्वतगं शिवमच्युतम् अजनं महाज्ञेयं विश्वात्मानं पराजनं नारायणपरो ज्योतिरात्मा नारायणपरः नारायणपरं ब्रह्म तत्त्वन्नारायणपरः नारायणपरो ध्याता ध्यानन्नारायणपरः यच्च यज्जगज्जस्मिन् दृश्यते श्रूयतेऽपि वा अन्तर्बहिष्टतत्सर्वं व्याप्य नारायणस्थितः अनन्तमव्ययं कविगं समुद्रेऽन्तं विश्वशम्भुवं पद्मकोशप्रतीकाशकं हृदयं चाप्यधोमुखम् अधो निस्यावितस्यान्तेनाभ्यामुपरितिष्ठति हृदयं तद्विजानीयात् विश्वस्यायतनं महते सन्ततगं शिलाभिस्तुलं भत्या कोशसन्निभं तस्यान्ते सुचिरगं सूक्ष्मं तस्मिन् सर्वं प्रतिष्ठितं तस्य मध्ये महानग्निर्विश्वाक्तिर्विश्वतोमुखः सोऽग्रवद्विभजन्तिष्ठन्नाहारमजरकविः सन्तापयति स्पन्देहमापादतलमस्तकः तस्य मध्ये वह्निशिखाणीयोर्ध्वा व्यवस्थितः नीलतो यतमध्यस्था विद्युल्लेखे वभास्वरा नीवारशूकवत्तन्वी पीताभास्यनुपमा तस्य शिखाया मध्ये परमात्मा व्यवस्थितः सब्रह्म सशिवस्येन्द्रसोऽक्षरः परमस्वराट् ऋचगुं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाख्यं विष्णुरूपाय वै नमो नमः। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात्। विष्णोर्नुतं वीर्याणि प्रवोचं यः पार्थिवानि विमे रजागुं तेजो अस्तभाजदुत्तरगं तदस्तं विचक्रमाण श्रेजोरुगायो विष्णोरराटमसि विष्णो पृष्ठमसि विष्णो स्नप्रेस्त विष्णो स्यूरसि विष्णो ध्रुवमसि वैष्णवमसि विष्णवे त्वा तदस्य प्रेमविविधातो अस्य नरो यत्र देवयो मदन्ति गुरुक्रमस्य सहि बन्धुरित्था विष्णोः पदे परमे मध्वपुत्सः प्रदद्विष्णुस्तवते वीर्याय मृगो न भीमः कुचरो गिरिष्टाः यस्योरिषु विक्रमणेषु अधिक्षियन्ति भुवनानि विश्वा परो मात्रया तनुवा वृदानां न ते महित्वमन्वश्नुवन्ति उपेते विद्मरदसि पृथिव्या विष्णो देवत्वं परमस्य वित्से विचक्रमे पृथिवीमेषजेतां क्षेत्राय विष्णुर्मनुषे दशस्यन् द्रुवासो अस्य कीरयोजनासः पुरुक्षितगुं सुजनिमाजकार त्रिदेवः पृथिवीमेषजेतां विचक्रमे चतुर्वशं वसित्वा प्रविष्णुरस्तुतवसस्तबीजान् ते शघ्यस्तस्तविरस्य नाम अतो देवा अवन्तुनो यतो विष्णोर्विचक्रमे पृथिव्या सप्तदामभिः इदं विष्णुर्विचक्रमे त्रेधान् ददे पदं समूढमस्य पागुं सुरे त्रीणि पदा विचक्रमे विष्णुर्गोपा अदाभ्यः ततो धर्माणि धारयन्ने विष्णोः कर्माणि पश्यत यतो व्रतानि पश्पसे इन्द्रस्य युज्यः सखा तद्विष्णोः परमन्वदगुं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरजाः दिवि वचक्षुरा ददं तद्विप्रासो विपन्यवो जागृवागुं सस्तमिन्धते विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदं पर्याप्य अनन्तराय सर्वस्तोमोतिरात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्त्यै सर्वस्य चित्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति ओम जातवेदसे सुनुवामसोममराति यतो नितहाति वेदः तनः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वानावेव सिन्धुन्दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये सुतरसि तरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारजानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्ति बिरति दुर्गाणि विश्वा ऊष्ट पृथ्वी बहुलान उर्वी भवातोकायतनयाय संयोः विश्वानिनो दुर्गः जातवेदस्सिन्धन्मनावादुरितादिवर्षि अग्ने अत्रिमन्मनसा गृणानो अस्मागुं भोज्यविता तनूना पृतनाजितगुं सह मानवुग्रमग्निगुं हुवेम परमाश्रदस्ताद् सनः परिषदति दुर्गाणि विश्वाक्षामद्देवो अतिदुरितात्यग्निः रत्नोषि गमीढ्यो अध्वरेषु सनाचहो चानव्यच्च सत्सि चाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यञ्जसौ भगमायजस्व गोभिर्जुष्टमभिशो विशिष्टन्तवेन्द्रविष्णोरनुसञ्चरेम नागस्य पृष्ठमपि संवतानो वैष्णवीं लोकैहमादयन्ताम् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारि धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात् हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीर्मनपगामिनी यस्यां हिरण्यं विन्देयं कामश्वं पुरुषाणम् अश्वपूर्वामृतमद्यां हस्तिनादः प्रमोदिनीं श्रियं देवीमुपक्वजे श्रीर्मा देवी जुषतां कांसोस्मितां हिरण्यप्राकारामार्द्रां ज्वलन्तीं तृप्तां तर्पयन्तीं पद्मे स्थितां पद्मवर्णां त्वामिहोपक्वजे श्रियं चन्द्रां प्रभासां निशसा ज्वलन्तीं श्रियं लोके देवजुष्टामुदारां तां पद्मिनीमीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये अलक्ष्मीर्मे नश्यतां त्वां वृणे आदित्यवर्णे तपसोऽधिजातो वनस्पतिस्तव वृक्षोऽथ बिल्वः तस्य फलानि तपसानुदन्तमायान्तराजाश्च बाह्या अलक्ष्मीः उपैतु मां देवसगः कीर्तिश्च मणिना सह प्रादुर्भूतोऽस्मि राष्ट्रेऽस्मिन् कीर्तिमृद्धिं ददातु मे सुप्तिभासामलां ज्येष्ठामलक्ष्मीर्नाशयाम्यहम् अभूतिमसमृद्धिं च सर्वाण्निर्नुद मे गृहात् द्वारान्दुरादर्शां नित्यपुष्टाङ्करीषिणीम् ईश्वरीगुं सर्वभूतानां स्वामिहोपक्वजे श्रियं मनसः काममाकूतिं वाचः सत्यमशीमहि पशूनां रूपमन्यस्तमहि श्रीं श्रियतां यशः कर्दमेन प्रजाभूता मयि सम्भव कर्दमा श्रियं वासय मे कुलेर्मातरं पद्ममालिनीम् आपसृजन्तस्निग्धानि चिक्लीतवस मे गृहे निच देवीन्मातरग्श्रियं वासय मे कुले आर्द्रां पुष्करिणीं पुष्टिं पिङ्गलां पद्ममालिनीं चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः आर्द्रां यःकरणीं जष्टिं सुवर्णां हेममालिनीं सूर्यां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः तां महावः जातवेदो लक्ष्मीर्मनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं प्रभूतं गावो दास्योऽश्वान् विन्देयं पुरुषानहम् पद्यश्रुतिप्रयतो भूत्वा जुहुयादाज्यमन्वहम् सूक्तं पञ्चदशश्चं च श्रीकामः सततं जपेत् पद्मानने पद्मभूरु पद्माक्षी पद्मसम्भवे तन्मे भजसि पद्माक्षी येन सौख्यं लभाम्यहम् अश्वदायी च गोदायी धनधायी महाधने धनं मे जुषतां देवीं सर्वकामांश्च देहि मे पद्मानने पद्मविपद्मपत्रे पद्मप्रिये पद्मदलायताक्षी विश्वप्रिये विष्णुमनोनुकूले त्वत्पादपद्मन्मखि सन्निधत्स्व पुत्रपौत्रधनं धान्यं हस्तिष्वादिगवेरथम् प्रजानां भवसि माता आयुष्मन्तं करोतु मां धनमग्निर्धनं वायुर्धनं सूर्यो धनं पशुः धनमिन्द्रो बृहस्पतिर्वरुणं धनमश्नुते वैनतेय सोमं पिबत वृत्रः सोमं धनस्य सोमिनो मह्यं ददातु सोमिनः न क्रोधो न च मात्सर्यं न लोभो नाशुभामतिः कृतपुण्यानां भक्तानां श्रीसूक्तं जपेत् सदा सरसिजनिलये सरोजहस्ते धवलतरां सुगन्धमाल्यशोभे भगवती हरिवल्लभे मनोज्ञे त्रिभुवनभूतिकरि प्रसीद मह्यं विष्णुपत्नीन् क्षमां देवीन् माधवीन् माधवप्रियां लक्ष्मीं प्रियसखीं देवीं नमाम्यच्युतवल्लभाम् ॐ धनुर्महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् ॐ महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात् श्रीर्वर्चस्वमायुष्यमारोग्यमावीता शोभामानं महीयते धान्यं धनं वशं बहुपुत्रलाभं शतसंवत्सरं दीर्घमायुः श्रियै जातः श्रिय निर्याय श्रियं वयोजनितृभ्यो ददातु श्रियं वसानामृतत्वमाजन् भजन्ति सद्यस्तविदा वितद्योने श्रियये वैनं तच्छ्रियमादधाति सन्ततवशारट्कत्तगं सन्दत्तगं सन्दीयते प्रजया पशुभिः य एवं वेद ॐ महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि ॐ महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि भूमिर्भूम्नाद्यौर्वरिणान्तरिक्षं महित्वा उपस्थे ते देव्यदितेऽग्निमन्नादमन्नाद्यायाददे आयङ्गो प्रश्मिरक्रमी सदसन्मातरं पुनः पितरं च प्रयन्सुवः त्रिगुं श्रद्धामभिराजति वाक्पतङ्गाय शिश्रिये प्रत्यस्य वहद्युभिः अस्य प्राणादपानस्त्यन्तश्चरति रोचन यक्षन्महिषस्सुवः यत्वा क्रुद्धः परोपमन्युना यदवर्त्यात् सुकल्पमग्ने तत्तव पुनस्तोद्धीपयामसि यत्ते मन्युपरोक्तस्य पृथिवीमनुदध्वसे आदित्या विश्वे तद्धेवा वसवश्च समाभरन् मेदिनी देवी वसुन्धरा स्याद्वसुधा देवी वासवी ब्रह्मवर्चसः पितॄणां श्रोत्रं चक्षुर्मनः देवी हिरण्यगर्भिणी देवी प्रसूवरी सदने सत्यायने सीद समुद्रवती सावित्री हनो देवी भक्ष्यगी महोदरणी महोप्यदिष्टा शृंगे शृंगे यज्ञे यज्ञे विभीषणी इंद्रवत्नीर्व्यापिनी सुरसरदिहा मती जलजजनी त्रियन्धाराजा तत्यन्धो परिमेदिनी सोपरि दत्तंगाय विष्णुपत्नीन् महीन् देवीन् माधवीन् माधवप्रिया लक्ष्मीं प्रियसखीं देवीं नमाम्यच्युतवल्लभाम् ॐ धनुर्धरायै विद्महे सर्वसिद्ध्यै च धीमहि तन्नो धराः प्रचोदयात् ॐ धनुर्धरायै विद्महे सर्वसिद्ध्यै च धीमहि तन्नो धराः प्रचोदयात् शृण्वन्ति श्रोणा अमृतस्य गोपाः पुण्यागस्य उपशृणोमि वाचं महीं देवीं विष्णुपत्नीमयूर्यां प्रतीतिमेनागुं भविषा यजामः त्रेधा विष्णुरुगायो विचक्रमे दिवं पृथिवीमन्तरिक्षं तच्छ्रोण इति श्रवयिष्यमानाः पुण्यग्श्लोकं यजमानाय कृण्वति गृणाहि घृतवती सवितराधिपत्यै पयस्वतीरन्तिराजानो अस्तु ध्रुवान् दिशां विष्णुपत्न्यगो रात्रे जानासाक्षो मनुता बृहस्पतिर्मातरिष्वोद्वायुस्सन्तु वानावाता अभिनो गृणन्तो विष्टम्भो दिवो धरणपृथिव्या अस्येषा नाजगतो विष्णुपत्नीम् ओम महादेव्यै च विद्महे श्रीभूसख्यै च धीमहि तन्नो नीला प्रचोदयात् ओम महादेव्यै च विद्महे श्रीभूसख्यै च धीमहि तन्नो नीला प्रचोदयात् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती दीनामवित्र्यवते वाग्देव्यै नमः वाग्देव्यै च विद्महे विरिञ्च पत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो वाणी प्रचोदयात् ॐ वाग्देव्यै च विद्महे विरिञ्च पत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो वाणी प्रचोदयात् वेदात्मनाय विद्महे हिरण्यगर्भाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् ॐ वेदात्मनाय विद्महे हिरण्यगर्भाय धीमहि तन्नो ब्रह्म प्रचोदयात् नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् ॐ नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णु प्रचोदयात् ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् सद्यो जातं प्रपद्यामि सद्यो जाताय वै नमो नमः भवे भवेनाति भवे भवस्व मां भवोद्भवाय नमः वामदेवाय नमो ज्येष्ठाय नमः श्रेष्ठाय नमो रुद्राय नमः कालाय नमः कलविकरणाय नमो बलविकरणाय नमो बलाय नमो बलप्रमथनाय नमः सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो मनोन्मनाय नमः अघोरेभ्यो सघोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः ओम तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात् ओम तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात् ईशानः सर्वविद्यानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो ओम तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिव प्रचोदयात् ओम तन्महेशाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिव प्रचोदयात् नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यंबकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठ मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः ओम तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महासेनाय धीमहि तन्नो षण्मुख प्रचोदयात् ओम सिद्ध्यं सद्वजाय विद्महे तुषिहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो वल्ली प्रचोदयात् बुद्ध्यं सद्वजाय विद्महे तुषिहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो देवसेना प्रचोदयात् ओम तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे स्कंदभक्ताय धीमहि तन्नो भोग प्रचोदयात् ओमत पुरुषो ह वै नारायणो गामयतः प्रजा सृजेयेति नारायणात् प्राणो जायते मनः सर्वेन्द्रियाणि च खं वायुर्ज्योतिराप पृथिवी विश्वस्य धारिणी नारायणात् ब्रह्मा जायते नारायणात् रुद्रो जायते नारायणादिन्द्रो जायते नारायणात् प्रजापतयः प्रजायन्ते नारायणात् द्वादशादित्या रुद्रावत सर्वाणि छन्दांसि नारायणादेव समुत्पद्यन्ते नारायणे प्रवर्तन्ते नारायणे प्रलीयन्ते ओमथ नित्यो नारायणः ब्रह्मा नारायणः शिवश्च नारायणः चक्रश्च नारायणः द्यावा पृथिव्यौ च नारायणः कालश्च नारायणः दिशश्च नारायणः ऊर्ध्वश्च नारायणः अधश्च नारायणः अन्तर्बहिश्च नारायणः नारायण वेदकं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यं निष्कलो निरञ्जनो निर्विकल्पो निराख्यात शुद्धो देव एको नारायणः अद्वितीयो अस्ति कश्चित् य एवं वेद स विष्णुरेव भवति स विष्णुरेव भवति ओमित्यग्रे व्याहरेत् नम इति पश्चात् नारायणायुत्युपरिष्ठात् ओमित्येकाक्षरं नम इति द्वयश्चेत् तदितरं परं पुण्डरीकं विज्ञानघनं तस्मात्तदितावन्मात्रं ब्रह्मण्यो देवकी पुत्रो ब्रह्मण्यो मधुसूदनो सर्वभूतस्तमेकन्नारायणं कारणरूपमकार परब्रह्मो एतदथर्वशिरो योधीते प्रातरदीयानो रात्रिकृतं पापं नाशयति सायमधीजानो दिवसकृतं पापं नाशयति माद्यन्तिनमादित्याभिमुखो धीजानः पञ्चपादोपपादकात् प्रमुच्यते सर्ववेदपारायण पुण्यं लभते नारायण सायुज्यमवाप्नोति नारायण सायुज्यमवाप्नोति य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषते शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ओम शांति शांति शांतिः शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मावादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आवीन्माम् आवीद्वक्तारम् ओम शांति शांति शांतिः भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टवागंसस्तनूभिः यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति शांति शांतिः सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ओम शांति शांति शांतिः तच्छंयोरावृणीमहे गातुं यज्ञाय गातुं यज्ञपतये दैवी स्वस्तिरस्तु नः स्वस्तिर्मानुषेभ्यः ऊर्ध्वं जिगातु भेषजं शन्नोऽस्तु द्विपदे कार्तिकेयाय विद्महे शक्तिहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो स्कन्दः प्रचोदयात् विद्यं तनुजाय विद्महे शक्तिहस्ताय धीमहि तन्नो देवसेना प्रचोदयात् वेल मुरुगनक्के रुद्रवेल मुरुगनक्के हर नमः पार्वती पतये पराशक्ति की ओम सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपात् सभूमिं विश्वतो भृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुषजेवेदगं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उतामृतत्वशेषानः यदन्नेनाभिरोहति एतावा Arohara. Arohara.
Afternoon. This is a wonderful day, and I want you to know what all we did to divine on our behalf. I did it on your behalf. You saw all the wonderful abhishekam we did, every type of juices, every type of fruit, every type of food item, all ahutis were given. The significance of the whole thing is there are many ways we can reach divine. One is you can meditate. Second, you can pray. Third, you can worship. Then you come more specific where you do homa. Homa is probably the most effective way. The reason is, in homa, you invoke Agni. The priests do their regular chanting. But Agni is our priest. And we invoke Agni. And then we ask Swaha Devi. That's why every time they finish one chanting, I say Swaha and offer the ahuti. Swaha Devi is considered as a wife of Kartikeya. In this element there is no male or female. These are all pure cosmic energy. They're all energy forms. And we give them million names. The highest energy we call her Divine Mother, Parashakthi. But these are all purely energy forms. There is no mass. It's pure energy, pure consciousness, highest level of undivided pure consciousness, which divided into trillion times, so that it can experience her through us. So she experiences us through us. That's the reason for creation. Otherwise, there's no creation. Everything will be quiet. So we go to the fundamental level. What starts the cycle is a vibration, sound, nada. The first thing when divine thinks, I want to grant them the life, she thinks that sound is the nada. That is transmitted as Om. Om has much deeper meaning than what you can comprehend. The vibrationally, it's very, very, every religion has. Muslims call them Ameen, Christians call them Amen. Every religion has figured out the connection starts with sabda, nada, and that starts the cycle. Then it goes into vibrations, harmonics. Harmonics are very important. Now they are finding out harmonics can do many, many things. Create energy, create mass. With nothing, harmonics are sound. With sound, they can create all that. And there's a segment called Ancient Aliens. Have you seen that? If you look at it, they are just touching the surface. They are just starting to look. Yes, that's the way they must have moved the pyramids, the huge stones, 60-ton stones. How could they have moved? There are many areas in the world where things which cannot be done by machines, they were able to do that. And they didn't have those kind of machines. So now we are figuring out they are using this harmonics, the sound, fundamental sound will be the Om. There are many million variation of them. They create that energy which moves those. And of course, their theory is the extraterrestrials came and they taught us, or they did that to us and they went back. Who these extraterrestrials, people ask me sometimes, who are these extraterrestrials? Who can that be? The planets around us, all the Milky Way, anything in the universe which comes outside Earth is extraterrestrial, anything extra. But from distance, it's not possible to come. If you look at our own backyard, that would be our planets. We haven't even touched it. We just went to moon, Now we are trying to go to Mars. They are close. The ones beyond it, like a Saturn, Pluto, they're all much, much farther. We don't even know anything about it. We haven't even talked. Jupiter is a big planet, almost as big as Earth. They are in the outer ring. We have not gone to the outer ring. We are still looking at our backyard. And we think we have done so much. But today, who we invoked, Kartikeya, is God, you can call it God of Mars. Mars is what we are looking at it now. All our effort for the next few years would be Mars. And what we'll be doing is we'll be just visiting it, but to explore and understand it and to know it will take another 30, 40 years. It's not easy. The environment is not very good. But Mars and Earth are very similar. When they started, they're very similar. But the atmosphere was removed, then it became barren. Earth continued. So Mother was kinder. So she kept the atmosphere. What gives atmosphere? No, Dr. Ravi, what gives atmosphere to us? Moon. Without moon, there is no atmosphere. Without atmosphere, there's no life form. Two things you need for life: water, oxygen. Oxygen even may not need for some life form, don't need oxygen, and they don't like oxygen. Oxygen is poison. Water, you need. Anywhere in the universe, for anything to be created, you need water. That is why Divine Mother said, when we build this temple, we will in 2 years, you see the magnificent temple, I will ask one of my aspects something, and you see if you can provide that. You know who was the aspect? Water. Apa. Ambuja. Her name is Ambuja. I call everyone Ambika. Ambika is a respect towards Divine. Ambuja Ambika. Then I thought, how could I, because people don't know about Ambuja Ambika. Then Mother said, have a water temple tank. So when people come, they look at that water and they will think of Apa, they will think of Ambuja. So you build a little Sannidhanam for her in the center of the tank. All our ancient temple, many of our ancient temple will have a temple tank. Recent ones don't have. The reason is this, because most important thing among the Panchabhuta is Apa. But we don't think of it. We know of it, we know the importance of it. But the importance is thinking of that entity which is part of me, which is in me, which I want to wake up. That's a fundamental concept. We want to wake up Mother in us by doing all this ritual. So coming back to the various methodology, Homa probably is the most effective way to connect, to communicate. When I say communicate, then we are going to different level. Extraterrestrials are just us, like us, but highly advanced scientifically, so they can travel faster, they can reach us, they can communicate, but we don't. They're much farther ahead of us, the extraterrestrial. But they're all from the planets, from the other close galaxies. But you know, the universe, if you look at it, there are galaxies, billions and billions and billions of them. And each galaxy will have billions and billions of suns. And each sun will have some planet. In the past, until 20 years ago, they said Earth was the only planet where there are humans. Now they're saying there are many planets where there are life forms, which makes sense. If Divine Mother builds billions and billions and billions of this, there'll be a purpose. And the purpose is this life forms has to grow. They need a place. They need a stage to act. It's like an opera. You need a stage to perform. So she has given us that many billions and billions of them. But Kartikeya is Lord of Mars. And the Mars is the one we are exploring now. And the Pleiades is that group, energy, comes from Pleiades. And that's very energetic. Among all the constellation, the science knows about 17 or 18 constellation. We really have 37 constellation. Our Vedic rishis have identified that much more than what our sciences identified it. There are 37. One of them is Pleiades. From Pleiades comes Mars energy, Kartikeya. He came from, from Pleiades. So today is very appropriate. They are sending the energy to Mars, the space, but again very, very primitive. We can go there and touch it. It will take 10 years to even scratch the surface and to even understand what the environment is not friendly there. You cannot exist because there's no atmosphere. You have to create the atmosphere, which we will. So today is a very appropriate day to invoke Kartikeya, and the connection is through Uthram. Uthram is the constellation today. What that means is our Earth comes in alignment with Uthram, where whoever is in Uthram will look at us. Who will be in Uthram? What we call gods. Extraterrestrials are not gods. Extraterrestrials are life forms like us, but much advanced from different planets. What we call as God is different. It's a different consciousness. In this temple, Yakshinis, Mohinis, Vidyadharas, Gandharvas, they're all real. They're not extraterrestrial. They're extraterrestrial, but they're not like us. They're not Panchabhuta. They're spirit forms. So extraterrestrials is different than what we are referring as Devatas, Yakshinis, various levels. And the lowest level of Yakshini will be 10,000 times conscious level than human, vibratory level. Vibrationally, they will be. This is one vibration, I am 10,000 vibration. And the lowest Yakshinis would be million. So don't confuse Yakshinis, our cosmic devatas, to extraterrestrials. They are extraterrestrials, but extraterrestrials we refer, science refers, is actual beings. They are people like us, maybe different, but still fundamentally their conscious level is a little bit more than ours. Scientific advancement may be much more than ours. So they can go speed much, much higher than we can. And scientific advancement. But when I say cosmic energy, that is divine energy. That's what you call God. Gods, devatas, only one God. Millions devatas. Her aspect, her vibratory aspect, which can come to us. So Uthram is the constellation today. Panguni is a very auspicious month. And on top of it, today is full moon. So most auspicious combination. And on that day, we get to be here. And that is from her. Only Mother can decide that. She has to invite us and make us come, because we would not know all the depth of the importance. So today is Uthram, Panguni month, and full moon. All three. Full moon is starting now. In the next half an hour, full moon would start. Pratima would start. So that kind of combination. And on that day, to come to a temple and do a homa is the most auspicious. And what all I did it on your behalf. So she makes sure somebody on our behalf does that. That's the beauty of our Indian tradition. The person who sits in the main should be aware of all this information and should be aware how to invoke the mantras. Again, coming back to sound, the vibration, sabda, nada, sabda Brahman. So Brahman is divine. Closest one, first emanation would be sabda. And the sabda we explain is Om, which has many meaning, many other vibratory energy. From them comes vibrations, harmonics, and many vibratory levels of energy. And they can create. Now they are saying they made this extraterrestrials control them, and they can travel fast, and they can lift 100 tons and place them wherever they want. All those things which you admire, and science cannot do it. Even now with all the machines we have, we cannot do those things which they did it. And they did it with the help of extraterrestrials who are not divine. Important, understand the difference. They are not divine, but they are higher form of life. Maybe the consciousness is higher than us, because they are more advanced than we are. And we are primitive. We are at 4.5 billion. They may be 8 billion years old or 9 billion years old. So they have survived longer. The universe is 14 billion. And there are many universes. We keep thinking 14 billion is universe. There are many, many universes. She just creates thought, creation, and that universe. So now they call it multiverse, not universe. So these are all basic information, but they're scientific. So I want you to know they are not all mythological. They are truly scientific. We did not know that. Now we are starting to understand, and it's getting more fascinating. What we thought are myth. Myth is mythological. It's not scientific. It's more like a story. But they are not myth. But many myths have basis, scientific basis, and the myths come from there. And myths are more romantic, more beautiful, more interesting. That's mythological. So all this mythology, science will prove them to be true. Not exactly, but many of the bases would be true. And the science, but it takes time. Science will take 1,000 years to show what we can comprehend quickly. That is a problem, science. Once you go to the matter, it's difficult. And matter and energy are the same. Shiva, Shakti. Shiva, if you say matter, Shakti is energy. They are one. And scientifically, energy and matter are one. Static energy is matter. Dynamic matter is energy. They're both same. So science has done a lot in the past 500 years. Science has done a lot. Newton, Einstein, they have opened up my eyes. But look at the time it has taken. In 500 years, very little. But now we are moving rapidly. And the reason Mother wanted this temple built, the reason is protective. She says Asuric elements will be very active. Because it's Kali Yuga. It is age of Asuras. And they will give knowledge. The Asuric energies will bring the knowledge through science, through whatever. But the result will be catastrophic. The death and destruction will be catastrophic. Look at last century, we lost 100 million people. 100 million in 1 century. And now look at it, when we talk about war, it's completely different war. It's a push-button war. Somebody sitting in China, Russia, or Washington, they push it. And the result is 10 million, 20 million. 30 million gone and dead. So no more fronts, war front, where you can go and kill 10,000, 20,000. No more of them. It's going to be terrible. I don't mean to scare you. You people know already all this. When a war starts, it'll be very violent and very catastrophic, very destructive. So she says, I, meaning my yakshinis, will protect. My aspect will come and protect. This temple is for that purpose. That's the reason she has planned it that way. See how many Sannidhanams she has planned. 30 Sannidhanams and 520 cosmic protective aspects in the Rajagopuram. All this, if you analyze it, they are good, but they are bad. For her to bring that means bad times are ahead. She wants to protect. But the most important part, most gratifying part, she is ready to protect, and she will protect. And she will give us the ability to protect. We would not be able to protect against Asuras. But she will give Devas. She will give Yakshinis, higher forms, who will come and protect us. So that knowledge, the ability she will give. So it's a very unique place. We are very unique people to be here on this day. Look at the combination, Uthram constellation. A constellation, by the way, they will say star, but it's not a star. Star technically means sun, right? A constellation will have thousands of suns, thousands of stars in one constellation. The Rohini is my constellation. Technically, I came from there, but many of you came from different constellation. But if you look at the whole thing as one, which expanded, then you can understand we're all connected. But the problem is in between those galaxies. I'm not talking about the planets. Planets are too small. Galaxies in between, huge space, unbelievably empty space. Huge space. Then you see a dot, and that's a galaxy. And the dot will have thousands and thousands of suns. Now you can imagine how insignificant that anatomy is. But we have, conscious level, we are advanced. The divine gives us the wisdom, the knowledge, the ability to comprehend, ability to understand, abstract, think abstractly, abstract thinking. That ability, wisdom. Mahasaraswati, Nilavani Ambika, she is there in that temple too. She gives the ability to think and to analyze and think abstractly. If you wait for science, it will take thousands of years. So you think abstractly. So all this, today we got that in a most auspicious day to come here and do this homa. And look at the Abhishekam. See the Abhishekam? Very beautiful concept. What do? You offer all this precious, what is most precious? To live. Food. Without food you don't live. We offered every possible food, every possible fruits, every possible juice, every possible eatable. We offered, we did Abhishekam, we bathed them. We bathed them with every food item we have, all the ahutis. Most importantly, we bathe them with our love, with our reverence, with our affection. That's all they care. That's all they want. That's what connects us. The love, the affection, the reverence, the faith, bhakti. Ultimately, you can follow any path, jnana path, any path, energy path. Ultimately, it's bhakti, because that creates grace. You know what grace is? You're an expert. What is grace? Grace is divine. We call them arul. In Tamil, they will call arul. In English, I don't know the exact term. It's a grace. That's all I can say. It is spiritual. It's granted, but you earned it. You earned it in thousands and thousands and thousands of times, because we have had almost 1 million lifetimes. So you earned it. And the result is you get grace. And the grace can't be obtained in one life. It has to be many lives. So we have the grace. You have the grace. She has the grace. But we have to continue till we go back to her, go back where we came from. That evolution goes on. So next time you may be human or you may not be human. You may be Yakshini. So that hierarchy will keep going. You may be Yakshini, you may be Devatas. It depends on your level of evolution. Usually from human, it will be Yakshini, next level. But that's a huge, if we talk about years, it's billions of years. But outside this time-space continuum, time doesn't have meaning. 1 second may be million years. Time has meaning when there's a comparison. So time-space, once we leave to the other side, there is no meaning for time. Million years would be 1 second. Okay, I'll stop here. Any questions? Have any doubts? Any questions? Today's function, you all clear. It's Uttram star, Panguni Uthram, full moon. You see the auspiciousness, you know. Full moon is very auspicious for various reasons. And Uttram constellation is a big constellation. It is very auspicious. What happens is those energies would be goddesses, devatas. They would align to earth. They look at earth. When they look at earth, they look at you. Your consciousness gets connected. But you have to take it. You have to receive them. If you don't know any of it, you're not likely to receive them because they don't exist. Existence depends on perception. If you don't perceive something, it doesn't exist, even though it is there. That's science. So to perceive it only, she gives all this knowledge, the wisdom and the place and the beautiful Rajagopuram and the information to create it. Can't be done. Without her grace and her ideas and suggestions, we cannot do them. 500, look at the beautiful carving, all granite. You know why granite? Vibrationally, that's the best. Granite is the best medium vibrationally. So she said, make me in granite. Make me. She has trillion aspects of her. Each one is one aspect. It's all done very ritualistically. It was all placed, we call them prana pratishtha. Reason why we call it prana pratishtha, because each time we do pratishtha, we have a mantra she gives. And there's going to be a deity there. You have seen it before. Mantra Sri Devi. Mantra Sri Devi. She has only one job. She gives you ability to understand sound. Understand sound. Not listen to sound alone, because sound is to be listened. Understand, see it, react to it, develop relationship. So that is not easy. Seeing sound is not easy. Hearing sound is easy. Seeing sound takes a tremendous amount of meditation, concentration, and again grace. That Devata, Mantra Sri Devi, she'll have a beautiful Sannidhanam there. Beautiful Sannidhanam. And underneath her, all the Siddhas will be meditating. What a concept. Humans cannot think. We are not that imaginative. She has given us the information. Make it that way. So my children, when they come here, she will give them the ability to understand. In other words, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, they will have the ability, because Mahasaraswati, through Mahasaraswati, Mantra Sri Devi will give you the ability to understand sound. Once you understand sound that way, or once you, I have been telling it for the past 20 years, learn to see sound. People probably thought it's crazy. Sound should be heard. Yeah, you can hear it. But see it, because there are many variations of the sound. And sound is an energy aspect. If you see it, you get a lot more. But that is not easy. How can you get it? Mother can give it to you. Divine Mother, if you have her grace, can give it to you. How do you get the grace? Follow her instruction. She said it, this is Kali Yuga. I will create my energy to protect the world, not us. This is not just for us, by the way. This temple is just not for us. It's for the world. But we are the chosen one to be able to come and do, understand and follow the instruction. That's a huge boon, to be able to understand all this mystical knowledge. And you do, because we are part of this process where she spreads this to the world, creates the energy to protect the world. So we are part of that creation. That's a huge boon, to be able to do that. That's why I said, you would have done tremendous spiritual activities in the past. I'm sure this life too, you've done and you do it. But in the past, you would have done tremendous spiritual activities, and the result is this. And when I say lives, I can only quote Krishna Bhagavan. He said, you have had almost 1 million lives. 840,000. He was telling Arjuna. That applies to all of us. Average lifetime is close to 1 million lifetimes. And he's telling him, I know you each time, but you don't know me. Because the Maya is very powerful. And Maya is who? Is one side of Mother. She creates that too. She made Mahavishnu vulnerable to Maya, Vishnu Maya. So she is Vishnu Maya too. So, but without Maya, there is no evolution. If you know everything each time in the past 1 million years, you will do the right thing. But that's not supposed to be. You're supposed to find, learn. And the process of finding and learning is evolution. There is physical evolution, which has taken us about 4 or 5 billion years. There is spiritual evolution, which has taken us equal time too. So all these are scientific concepts. There is no mumbo jumbo here. These science, but it takes time. And science, it's blind to many degrees. Science is very rudimentary. In this one space, there's a trillion of organisms. Do I see that? I don't, because my organs, my senses are very primitive. I cannot see the trillion organism in this 1 cc of air. But as I evolve to higher forms, I will be able to see, or I will build gadgets which will see those things. But still they'll be primitive. Nothing like pure consciousness who could see everything, see the reality. Okay, anything else I should say? We can give it to them? Oh, in the Rajagopura, yeah. She gave us a lingam from Himalayas to be placed in the Rajagopura. The reason being the energy of that lingam will be connected to that. There are many things. Lingam is one. The Shaligrama we have, that's also from Himalayas. She has spiritualized them. She has made them holy and gave it to us to be kept here so that people who come will get the benefit. But this temple is not just for us. This is for the world. The world is going to be in trouble and she wants to protect the world. And Kali Yuga is supposed to be that. That's why it's called Kali Yuga, final age, 300,000 years or 400,000 years. It will be all wiped up and we'll start new. The pralaya would come and the new thing would start again from stage 1 to stage 4. That is, and that time she comes and gives us all this help. And we take advantage of it, and of course we have to earn it. And we earned it before. But this time we got to continue to earn it and participate. So please participate in the construction. Because building a temple is a huge blessing. People don't get. They build many things. That building a temple is not the one, is a priority on any average human mind. And building a temple designed by her, because this temple, you have to go on the website and read the origin, is purely mystical. It's Kundalini temple. In that temple, and that's why underneath the ground is a water running. Oh, tomorrow is a day, today and tomorrow. There's 9 rivers which combine, and they come to all the holy rivers. So there is a running river underneath, which we did not know when we started building. Then we found out it's a river, because temples constructed in the river is the most powerful ones, because the cosmic energies come easy. That's the reason why people will, but it's very difficult. How many temples we know built on the rivers? It's difficult to do them. We had real problems to go underneath the river, go below the ground and build with the piling. And you can imagine us, we didn't even know. But she gives whatever needed, she gives. Anything possible if you want to. More than that, if you are destined to do that. We are destined to be here, to be part of the protective function of Eternal Mother, Parashakthi, and that's a huge boon. That boon cannot be gotten one lifetime. So you all have done your job, and now you're in closer. That's the reason why you are involved in this temple. And this temple is going to be a magnificent temple at the right time when things will start breaking down. In the later part of the century, things will start. Already I see problems all over the world, just waiting to explode, but not exploding. But when it does, it'll look at COVID. Last year, January, you didn't even know what it was. How it came so quickly, change your life, change our life. So next thing would be like that, come on very quickly. So we have to be ready, and that's the reason why Mother said, 50, 60 years ago, that was Mother Meenakshi. That's why today I'm wearing Mother Meenakshi. This is Meenakshi color. Just like vibration, colors are very important. Each color means some energy. So she said, you will build a house for me to protect the world, but you would not call me being. You'll call me Parashakthi, because I will be that primordial energy. They're all one, different name, different form, different understanding. So Mother Meenakshi, but they're all higher form. Mother Meenakshi, Kamakshi, Kali, Mahakali, all of them. And I'm going to Himalayas next month. Again, she would look how beautifully she does. She makes me come here and offer all that on your behalf. All this thing I did on your behalf. She sends me to what is called Pratiniti Yatra. You go and do a function for this lady or for this lady, and that is called Pratiniti. And I'll tell you what to do, because I would not know. What you need, I would not know. She will tell. This time I'm going to a place called Gauri Kund. How many of you heard of Gauri Kund? Gauri Kund. Kund means lake, I think. When the creation started, Mother became Shiva. She's Shiva Shakti. She sent Shiva to Kailash. She said, you go and do that function, dissolutory function, dissolving function. I'll do the creative function. And she chose this spot, Gauri Kund. Now, physically, how would this have formed? A meteorite must have come and hit Earth 4 billion years ago, or 3 billion years ago, long ago. And that has left a lake, big lake. And that must be highly intensified energy-wise. So she went there to do a sacrifice. That means creation is an act of sacrifice. She would have sacrificed millions and billions of years. In human years, I don't know, real time. And why it should take that long? What did she do? Can you imagine what she did? She wrote the stories of 10 trillion, 20 trillion, or 30 trillion stories of that life. Not human. Human only 7 billion. Trillion of other beings she wrote and she organized and she produced the movie. And that is this. So it should take time. And it must be an act of sacrifice for her to think of all this, all of us, and write our story. And let us act. Let us act. She doesn't influence it. She writes it and let us act from her own volition. So it's a destiny as a basis. But we have the free will to modify it a little bit. So this story is a beautiful concept. So that is the place, she's telling me, you go there and meditate, do certain rituals, and bring that energy of me here. So when the devotee comes here, you will get that. Many of you may not be able to go to Gauri Kund, may not even know where Gauri Kund is. But this is a mythological story. I just gave it as an example because it just came to me. Because I'm getting ready to go to Himalayas. So every little thing she does, ultimate beneficiary is us. Thank you.